Ghosts and wolves, whispers from the past, knife him secrets, spell that will last. Necromancy calls through the still of night. In this waltz we find our line. With the dragon's roar, we rise forever, finding our fears united in endeavor. As each rhythm falls, the darkness surrenders. Magic ignites as we break all the embers. You can hold this world from changing. With every heartbeat, destiny's rearranging. The legends breathe in every step we take together. We rise, the folklore legends.
Kazuko Tetsuya sat in his dimly lit room, staring at his hands. Flames flickered from his fingertips, their eerie blue glow casting shadows across his face. He flexed his fingers, the flames responding instantly, flaring up and shaping themselves to his will. The power felt limitless, exhilarating, like a promise of something bigger than anything he'd ever known. He'd been training with these new abilities for days now, ever since that strange encounter that had changed his life.
I'll do more than Sora ever could. With this gift, I can protect the city like no one ever could.
A few days later, Sora was driving Shiki Yuma back to the city from the land of myth. Shiki, a ghost with an innocent heart and sharp intelligence, sat quietly in the passenger seat. His ghostly presence barely disturbed the air around him, a mere whisper in the wind. Sora glanced at him, her sharp, wolf-like eyes narrowing as she steered the car along the darkening highway.
You've made good progress, Shiki, but you still have a lot to learn. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Shiki, who was usually bubbly and full of energy, looked a little disappointed.
Does that mean I can't help you with your case?
I said not to get ahead of yourself. You need to stay in your apartment. You're not ready for something like this. Besides, I work alone.
I get it, but maybe someday I could help you with your case against Jason Hawk.
Sora's jaw tightened at the mention of the name, Jason Hawk. A name wrapped in mystery and danger.
That case is too dangerous for someone like you. Don't bring it up again.
Shiki's face fell, a shadow crossing over his normally cheerful demeanor. Sora's gaze softened, and she placed a hand on his shoulder.
I know you want to help, Shiki. You surely may have enough power to do so. You're smart, and one day I might just let you. But for now, you need to stay hidden. It's safer that way.
Shiki smiled a little, his spirits lifted by her words, though still heavy with unspoken longing. Suddenly, Sora's phone rang, cutting through the quiet. It was the chief of police.
A new myth. A masked man. He stopped a bank robbery single-handedly. And get this, bullets bounced off him like he was wearing armor. This is getting out of hand.
I'm on my way. Shiki, buckle up.
Arriving at Mizu's house, Sora was greeted by Katera, the teenager with fiery yellow hair and sharp eyes. Katera led her into the living room where the news was already playing, showing footage of the masked hero in action. He'd taken down 5 armed men, but had not taken a single cent from the bank's vault.
The guy was a monster. Took them all down, didn't even take the money. He just disappeared.
This masked man, do you know anything else about him?
No, just what the news says. But, he's kind of been a hero to a lot of people.
Shiki, stay here with Katera. I need to track him down before he stirs up anything else.
Well, if you ask me, seems like he's doing a better job than the police.
Sora glanced at Shiki and for a second agreed. But she still needed to find this mysterious hero. As night fell, Sora patrolled the streets with Shiki's words echoing in her mind. She hadn't realized how far out of hand things were getting. A myth roaming the city, flaunting his powers. It didn't sit right with her. The sound of a scuffle reached her ears, and she quickly darted toward it, her instincts kicking in. In the distance, a man stood over another, pointing a knife at his victim.
Lower your weapon and drop to the floor.
The robber turned, startled. The man lunged toward the robber, moving faster than a normal human should be able to, knocking the gun out of his hand and sending him crashing to the ground.
You seem to have collected quite the reputation, hero.
Sora's voice rang out sharp and commanding as she walked toward him, and with the distraction, the robber ran away.
Why the hell did you let him escape?
Sora stood her ground, her eyes glowing faintly with the power of her wolf instincts.
You're not supposed to display powers like that in public. Myths aren't supposed to draw attention. I've made that very clear.
Heh. I'm not a myth, and I don't have to listen to you.
In a blur of motion, his fist flew toward Sora's face with ferocious speed. Sora caught his hand, and his fist collided with hers. A shockwave felt through the park. Sora surprised by his raw physical strength. Kazuko then lunges a series of flurries and kicks, at which Sora found harder and harder to avoid. Kazuko was fast, but also showed intention in his movement, hinting at a background in martial arts. She jumps backwards. Sora's primal instincts surged through her, but she held herself back. It was hard, but she didn't retaliate. Her heart beat faster, but her head was clear.
Enough of this. I don't want to hurt you, but if you keep this up, it won't end well.
I won't stop what I'm doing. And after your public display, you're hiding for what? People don't care how you protect them, just as long as it gets done.
Kazuko's words carried some weight with Sora, her eyes narrowing as she realized he may be right.
You want to be a hero, huh? Fine. But do me one favor. Come to my office tomorrow so we can have a proper meeting. Can you do that for me at least?
Kazuko hesitated, eyes narrowing, but then he muttered under his breath.
All right. I don't see why not. I'll be there first thing in the morning. By the way, the name's Kazuko Tetsuya.
立ち上がり引き去られることを取れない人代たちが身を潜め恐怖で震えている私たちは明るく燃え上がり私たちを高く持ち上げるないもことべどいどうてしみを抱きしめて見えないの私たちは駅で以外を海ゴミたりのとらわれている空気中に魔法が満ちここは燃えている私たちは明るく燃え上がり私たちの高く持ち上げる